inherited will, the tide of the times, people's dreams, these things cannot be stopped. As long as people seek the answers of freedom, these things will never cease to be. This has a whole new context after what happened in the last episode of One Piece. In the world of One Piece, everybody is pursuing a dream, and we saw that at the end of this episode as the crew were heading towards the Grand Line. We had Luffy saying how he's heading there to become the king of the pirates. We had, Usopp saying he wanted to be a brave pirate of the sea. Nami wanted to create a world map. Sanji wanted to get to the All Blue, and Zoro wanted to become a master swordsman. I can't lie, I got chills when they were all talking about heading to the Grand Line and speaking about their dreams, but given the last episode of One Piece, it seems like everything in this world potentially is already destined to happen. Fate cannot be changed. So potentially whatever decisions these characters make, whatever happens along their journey, will not change the outcome of their destination. Whether they achieve their dreams or not is out of their hands. Fate will decide for them, and it's already been written. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but that's what I feel like this tide of fate cannot be changed, this inherited will, all that sort of stuff is sort of heading towards. Just talking about if these people have willpower and the drive to achieve their dreams, they will achieve it no matter what. Maybe it's just that simple, but I feel like it might be literal, if that makes sense, especially with this character Dragon that seems to actually be driving Luffy towards his destination. Anything that seems to be stopping him from getting to the Grand Line, potentially becoming king of the pirates, finding the One Piece, whatever, seems to be actually being, stopped by this Dragon character, as he was about to be killed again by Smoker. He was about to have his head chopped off, is what it looked like, until this dragon arrived, and there was this green tornado wind thing that drove everybody away, all the way through Logtown. It drove Smoker away from Luffy, and it essentially created a clear path for Luffy and his crew to get back to the Going Merry and head straight towards the Grand Line. And again, that's not a coincidence. Is it all just driven by this Dragon character that's trying to help Luffy move forward, or is there more to it than that? Is there some being out there that's looking out for the destiny, for fate? Who knows? But this character Dragon is very interesting. He only has a few lines, but I'm very, very interested to see what actually he is, who he is, what are his, why is he doing what he's doing? There's a lot of questions that have yet to be answered for sure. At one point, he said the world is waiting for our answer, and I don't know what that means. The world asked him a question and they're waiting for his answer. What does he mean by the world? There's a lot of questions about this guy and his motives and where he comes from, and I'm excited to learn more about it. But besides that, we had a bunch of more interesting stuff in this episode, like Tashigi faced off against Zoro because she feels like she was betrayed by him, because, her dream is to remove all these legendary swords from evil, and she sort of deems Zoro as notorious. So, she wants to take that sword back off of Zoro. But Zoro defeats her pretty quickly. And we also got Smoker versus Luffy. And like I said, Smoker was sort of destroying Luffy. Like, Luffy couldn't even damage him, couldn't even hit him. And if it wasn't for this guy, Dragon, Smoker would have killed him pretty easily. I mean, Smoker caught Buggy and Alvida like that pretty easily, but even they got to escape from this green wind that Dragon created, and even they're heading towards the Grand Line now. It's like everything is pushing these people towards the Grand Line, including Smoker and Tashigi, who are going after Luffy and Zoro. So everything is pushing the characters towards the Grand Line right now, and that's where everybody's heading. The Going Merry's going there, Smoker, Buggy, Alvida, everybody. So I guess that's where the winds of fate are taking them, to the Grand Line. I can't wait to get there. I can't imagine what's there. All the strongest things we've seen so far have come from the Grand Line. Arlong and Mihawk, and we've heard legends about it. So I can't wait to actually see what it looks like and actually get to the Grand Line. I think it's going to be so exciting, and I can't fucking wait. So yeah, let's do it.